Welcome to this week's Brittany's Bites. As you can see, I am ready for game day. So we are gonna make a game day recipe to please a crowd. It is basically a huge sandwich, but it's a twist on that party sub. Let's call it a Bundtwich party sub because yes, we're gonna make the huge bun in my Bundt pan. Anytime I get a chance to use a Bundt pan, I wanna do it. It's one of my favorite kitchen accessories. So let's get started. It's very, very easy. You could just buy your own bread and make a party sandwich, obviously, but this makes it a little bit more fun and adds a little, spice to it too, because you'll see what we're about to do. You can just find these French bread refrigerated bread in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. They are kind of, I think, tricky to open, so I got one started for myself. Just unroll it. Actually, what I'm gonna do first, so we're gonna spice it up, as I said. This bagel seasoning, everything but the bagel seasoning, we're gonna sprinkle it into a big pan because we are gonna roll the bread in there and get it all onto it. Okay, so I'm gonna take it out now. If I can, it's all stuck in there. There we go. All right, so just take it and roll it up. See how you got it all covered? How great is that? And then in my Bundt pan, I've sprayed it with nonstick cooking spray, and you wanna make sure to try to not get it on the edges because we want the edges to seal together. So hopefully that goes just about half of it. I'm gonna put a little bit more down and then see if I can open this other one. All right, give me just a second to get this because that one was not easy to get open. And then we'll roll and put that half in. Yes, all right. Okay, we are putting it in the pan here. So I wanna stretch it out so that the ends are touching and kinda pinch them together. And I have the oven preheating behind me at 350 degrees. I think that's what it probably says on the can as well, but double check. So once I pinch these together, I'm just gonna pop it in there and then I'm gonna get some of the rest of the ingredients going. Gotta slice up some things and fry up some things. So let me put this in the oven and we'll be back. Our French bread is out of the oven. I had it in there for about 35 minutes and just look how beautiful it turned out. I've tried to let it cool just a little bit so I don't burn my hands off when I try to cut it in half, but let's see how it goes. So of course it's in a ring, so it's always hard to cut those evenly. So I'm gonna do my best here, see how it goes. I think it worked. There we go. By the way, did you hear the crustiness of it? It's so good. It smells delicious, especially with all of that everything but the bagel seasoning on it. So we've got our two halves here. If you don't like a lot of bread, you can kind of scoop out a little bit of the middle, but I like bread, so we're gonna keep it as it is. So now it's time to build this party sandwich. We're gonna start with some condiments. Gotta have a little mayo and mustard on this, right? I know, I'm gonna scoop it on both sides. Do not come at me for not having Dukes. I know we're in the South now, but I grew up in the Midwest and my grandma always used this kind. So that's the kind that I have to use. All right, I'm gonna spread this all around. And then on top of this, I'm gonna put a little, I was thinking Dijon mustard, but I'm gonna go with a spicy brown mustard. So I'm gonna spread this around, put the spicy brown mustard on, and then we will move on to building the sandwich. Now we have both sides covered. It's time to start building the sandwich, so let's get to the meat. I had a request for roast beef, so that's what I'm using, but I thought I needed more than one kind, so I got some turkey too, but you use whatever you want. I think typically in deli subs, it's ham and turkey, right? So I'm going to make this the bottom of the sandwich. That's gonna be the top, and I'm just gonna sort of crinkle these all around. This is what makes the sandwich pretty, right? Instead of just putting it, if you have a sandwich and you have bread, putting it like that, nah, crinkle it up. That's what makes it pretty. And this is something that's gonna be visually interesting as well once we build it, because you're gonna be able to see all the layers from the side, and we want that. So I'm just gonna keep piling on this, and then I'm gonna put on some turkey, and then top it with some bacon. And then we'll move on to the other condiments. We've got all of the meat on. Just look at all of the layers. There's a lot to this. Yeah, we don't mess around when we're making sandwiches. And now it's time for some cheese, right? I just have some sliced cheddar, so I'm going to spread the cheddar around. Then I'm gonna top it with tomatoes and onions, and then we'll go on to the next step. Now it is time for a little tang. So we're gonna put on some pickles and then also a couple of little banana peppers, because that's what you really want in a sub sandwich, right? So I'm gonna spread these around and then we will move on to the lettuce and then we'll almost be done. We have finally made it to the final step. We're gonna sprinkle some lettuce on top and then add a couple of more spices and such, and then, oh, it's spilling out everywhere. And then we will put on the top and the sandwich will be ready to go. Okay. I thought it would be good to have pre-shredded. Thought it would be easier to put around, but it's just falling off. Oh well, use some shredded, not shredded lettuce if you'd like. Okay, now I'm just gonna do just a tiny hint of oil and vinegar. Oh, my lid is coming off. There we go. Just a little bit of that. Some oil and then some vinegar. And then we're gonna put on some Italian seasoning. Now look at that. Now let's see if I can get the top on. Okay. All right, check out that sandwich. This is humongous. This is what I meant when I said you could serve a crowd. So all you have to do is slice it up into individual little pieces and probably smush it down a little bit. And then the party is here. All right, happy game day, everybody. We'll be back next week with more Brittany's Bites. If you would like to get the written out recipe for this, you can go online at WBIR.com.